Throughout American history, a select group of leaders has risen to the challenge of guiding the nation through its most defining moments.
I am the chosen one.
These presidents, each in their own unique way, have left an indelible mark on the country, shaping its course with their vision, courage, and determination.
The United States of America is the most powerful nation on earth.
John F. Kennedy, though tragically serving only 3 years in office, remains one of the most inspiring leaders the nation has ever known. His legacy is deeply tied to his decisive foreign policy, particularly in confronting the spread of communism during the Cold War. The Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962, a tense 13-day standoff, stands out as a critical moment when Kennedy's firm stance compelled the Soviet Union to remove its nuclear weapons from Cuba, averting what could have been a catastrophic conflict. Domestically, Kennedy championed the New Frontier program, which aimed to expand federal support for education and rural aid programs. Although he did not live to see its passage, his efforts laid the groundwork for Medicare, a program that has since become a cornerstone of healthcare for American seniors.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
James K. Polk, often overlooked due to his short time in office, accomplished more in one term than many do in two. A fervent believer in manifest destiny, Polk was instrumental in expanding America's borders. He negotiated the acquisition of the Oregon Territory from the British and secured New Mexico and California through the Mexican-American War, significantly increasing the nation's size. Polk's administration also restored the independent treasury and pushed through much of the Democratic policy agenda, solidifying his place among the most effective single-term presidents. Lyndon B. Johnson, remembered for his ambitious Great Society programs, takes a prominent place in the annals of American history. Johnson's tenure saw the passage of landmark legislation that continues to shape the country. From the Civil Rights and Voting Rights Acts to the establishment of Medicare and Medicaid, Johnson's policies aimed to create a more equitable society. His administration also made significant strides in education, public broadcasting, and environmental protection. Despite these achievements, Johnson's legacy is marred by his escalation of the Vietnam War, which saw American troop involvement surge dramatically. The war's unpopularity ultimately led him to forgo a second term.
I shall not seek, and I will not accept the nomination of my party for another term as your president.
Dwight Eisenhower's presidency marked an era of unprecedented prosperity for the United States. Under his leadership, the country admitted its final 2 states, Alaska and Hawaii, solidifying its territorial integrity. At home, Eisenhower launched the Interstate Highway System, a monumental infrastructure project that transformed American life. He also played a crucial role in advancing science and technology, creating NASA and the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. Eisenhower's support for civil rights, exemplified by the passage of the first major civil rights legislation since Reconstruction, and his use of nuclear deterrence to end the Korean War, further highlight his lasting impact.
We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic process.
Woodrow Wilson, the man who led America into World War I, ranks among the most significant presidents in American history. His decision to enter the war was pivotal, turning the tide in favor of the Allies and leading to their eventual victory. Following the war, Wilson was a key architect of the League of Nations, the precursor to the United Nations. Although the U.S. Senate ultimately rejected membership in the League, Wilson's vision laid the groundwork for future international cooperation. The League's failure, however, indirectly contributed to the rise of the Nazi Party in Germany, a somber footnote to Wilson's otherwise impactful legacy. Thomas Jefferson, the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, was a visionary leader who expanded the United States in ways few could have imagined. As the nation's 3rd president, Jefferson doubled its size with the Louisiana Purchase, acquiring vast territories from France for a mere $15 million. This land would eventually become part of 15 states, dramatically altering the country's future. Despite his progressive stance on issues like banning the importation of slaves in 1807, Jefferson's legacy is complicated by the fact that he himself owned slaves, a contradiction that has cast a shadow over his achievements. Theodore Roosevelt, who assumed the presidency after the assassination of William McKinley, was a true progressive and the youngest man to hold the office. Roosevelt's tenure was marked by his commitment to environmental conservation and his efforts to expand the national park system. His square deal policies focused on consumer protection and curbing corporate power, with Roosevelt famously dissolving 44 monopolistic businesses. His foreign policy, summarized by the phrase, "speak softly and carry a big stick," ensured that America remained strong militarily while avoiding unnecessary wars. Roosevelt's role in the construction of the Panama Canal and his Nobel Peace Prize for mediating the Russo-Japanese War are further testaments to his enduring influence. George Washington, the nation's first president, remains an iconic figure in American history. As the leader who guided the country to victory in the Revolutionary War, Washington's leadership was instrumental in establishing the fledgling republic. He set many precedents, such as avoiding entanglement in European conflicts, which allowed the young nation to grow and stabilize. Washington's establishment of the cabinet system and his inaugural address have become lasting traditions that continue to shape the presidency. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, elected an unprecedented 4 times, led the country through some of its darkest days. Assuming office during the Great Depression, FDR's New Deal programs revitalized the economy and restored hope to millions of Americans. His leadership during World War II, alongside Winston Churchill and Joseph Stalin, was crucial in defeating Hitler and the Axis powers. Roosevelt's policies and wartime strategies left a legacy of resilience and recovery that the nation still benefits from today. At the pinnacle of this list stands Abraham Lincoln, the president who preserved the Union and ended the scourge of slavery. Lincoln's leadership during the Civil War, the bloodiest conflict in American history, was nothing short of heroic. His Emancipation Proclamation and the victory of the Union not only strengthened the federal government, but also set the United States on a path to becoming a more just and prosperous nation. Tragically, Lincoln paid the ultimate price for his leadership, assassinated just days after General Lee's surrender. Yet, his legacy as the savior of the Union endures, making him the greatest president in American history. These presidents, through their extraordinary contributions, have each left an indelible mark on the United States, guiding it through periods of profound change and setting the course for future generations.